record button. And so today, have with you or have handy blocks if you like blocks. And if you have a bolster or even a couple pillows that you might be able to use, we're going to use them a couple different ways today. Or if you don't have that, you could always have a couple blankets that would work also. Towards the end of class, we're going to find a supported relaxation posture that really opens up the chest, and that is the reason there. But for the beginning of our practice, we're going to find a relaxation posture with the legs either nice and long, or if it feels good, if you have something to roll up or to place under your knees, to lie back and allow your knees to be supported. So getting yourself comfy. Sometimes it's nice to begin your practice in a shavasana. Oh, just to kind of rock your body a little from side to side, and maybe move your hips, move your shoulder blades. You can even walk them closer towards each other and wiggle around like a bowl of jello. And then as you feel comfortable, take a nice deep breath in. Hold it at the top for just a moment and then sigh it out through your mouth. And again, a nice deep inhale through your nose, coming all the way to the top. Hold and then sigh, and just allow it to melt your back body down into that supportive earth. Allow your breath to be natural. Let it be unconditioned. Let your shoulders soften and your jaw soften. And your eyes might close. Listen to the sound of your breath. Feel your nervous system release and relax. And it's from this place of support that we can quiet the mind. And when the mind is quiet, we're better able to process. We're better able to allow the metal element to kind of work its alchemical magic. Transformation. Thinking of the breath, with each in breath, you take in oxygenated air, nutrients from all around you. And with each out breath, you release the byproducts of all of the processes within your body of this cellular respiration. This very magical process. And even though we can break it down into anatomy and physiology, when we see it with a sense of wonder, it encourages our natural healing ability and just the ability to feel calm, to feel good, to feel in balance. And take a deep inhale and sigh it out. Reach your arms out in front of you. You can leave your legs down for the time being. Move your wrists and your fingers and kind of circle the wrists a little. And reach your arms back behind you. Maybe your elbows bend a little and your hands release and relax down. Just finding this stretch through your side body and through your shoulders. And as you breathe, feel your breath move into your side ribs. Feel it expand into your belly. Feeling that sense of wonder. Bring your arms back in front of you, and then you can bring them down to your sides. You're going to scooch any support out from under your knees. So you might just kind of press it away with your feet on your bolster that supports. And bend your left knee. Let your arms come into a T or into cactus arms. Pressing your left foot into the ground with your right leg nice and long. Lift your hip, your left hip, and kind of spinal unwinding, letting your left shoulder relax down towards the earth. Bring your hip back down. Open your left knee out towards the left. And we'll find kind of a flowing movement with this spinal unwinding. Really allowing your left shoulder to release down and relax as you let your knee fall out to the side and press through the bottom of your foot. And breathing all the while. Enjoying the gentle movement in the hip flexor, in the pelvic area, and all up the spine, into the shoulder. Bring your hip back down, and we'll simply change sides. Let your left leg lengthen, your right foot comes to the ground, readjusting, making sure your chin is coming slightly downward towards your chest. Lift your right hip, let your right shoulder relax, and lower your hip, let your knee fall out to the sides. The spinal unwinding on this side. Maybe working with your breath as you move. And feeling that expansion of your lungs and then that relaxation, this amazing process. The lung and the large intestine, organs of elimination associated with the metal element. Kind of that refinement. Metal being the child of the earth element. You can think of the minerals within the earth as metal. And we work with those humans to sort of process them, we refine them and make them shiny. Working with those metals, we find all kinds of little conduits, and we can build bridges. We can uh, make all of these electronic devices that we have that allow us to kind of communicate as well. So it's a very useful tool, metal. Let your hip come to the ground and bring your left foot to the ground. Let your arms come down alongside of you. And now make your arms into robot arms. Let your elbows bend, fingertips point towards the ceiling, palms face each other. Kind of pressing your elbows and your back of your arms, your shoulders into the ground, and we'll find some pelvic tilts to start, turning those into bridge lifts if it feels good to you. But begin by tilting your pelvis one direction and then the other, feeling your low back make contact with the earth, and then it sort of lifts up as you rock across your sacrum. And as it feels good to you, maybe you start to find a little bridge lift, lifting your pelvis off of the ground and then lowering it back down. And you have your robot arms, your elbows pressing into the ground, your backs of your arms pressing into the ground as you lift and lower your pelvis just as high as feels comfortable, keeping your chin tucked as you do. And notice how this, I think this posture really adds a little more support to these bridge lifts, more so than having the arms long at the sides. You can even try that just to explore. Metal is our sensitivity to our emotions and everything we experience in general. We tend to brush sensitivity off and think it's not important, that rational thought itself or alone is what matters. And that's certainly not the case. Oh, feeling, allowing yourself to feel and to make changes. One more of these bridge lifts. And then your hips return to the earth. Let your knees come in towards your chest and rock yourself from side to side. Sacral rocking, rocking across your sacroiliac joint, and your hips, rocking across your kidneys, a little higher up, and just noticing, allowing yourself to feel because you're safe to do so. Find your breath. And now we'll take hands on the knees, press your knees away from your chest and then draw them back in, continuing to move here with your breath. Inhaling as your knees move away and exhaling as they draw in, coming back to that process of respiration and really envisioning drawing in with such ease that fresh, nutrient rich air, gathering everything that you need from it to draw it into the blood. And then as your knees come in, as you exhale, you're releasing everything that you don't need anymore, all of the byproducts of that transformation, of that process of respiration. And all of this happens without our being aware of it. But when we bring our awareness to it, we encourage that sensitivity, and we also encourage sometimes a greater functionality. Start to listen to our bodies and move and behave and do things in a way that best serves our experience here on this amazing planet. And now, if it feels okay to you, you could rock up and down your spine to come into a seat, or if you'd rather, you can roll to your side to make your way to a seat. Rocking and rolling as much as you'd like up and down your spine. I can only do it a few times, and then I'll get a little dizzy. I'm gonna come to a seat. If you have two blocks, you could turn them into sort of a platform for your hips. I think that feels really good. A bolster works nicely also. And coming into a seat, maybe even bringing a blanket underneath of your ankles. That feels good also. Sitting up nice and tall and rock a little from side to side, sort of wiggling your sits bones into your platform or into your seat. Sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to shrug the shoulders up to the ears and then they poof down. So bring them up, find some tension, and then relax. Even find a sort of a sigh as you relax, or a as you relax. That can feel really good. And these noises that we make, they they also resonate within our bodies. So feel free to do it. And one more time. We'll roll the shoulders a few times. One direction, and then the other. Seated cats and cows. Open up your chest on an inhale, round forward on an exhale, maybe really round. And you can even pause, you can breathe multiple times into any posture. In fact, my breathing cues are more than saying this is the correct way to breathe, is to encourage your connection with your own breath. There's nothing to worry about if you find that your breath moves differently directionally than IQ. Coming back to center and staying with your breath, relax your shoulders, and we'll rub the hands together, getting them nice and warm as we find some acupressure points associated with the metal element. Of course, acupressure being this idea of stimulating places on the meridians, the channels of energy that move through the body. Again, it's not so exact as that. So when we palpate different areas, just see how it feels and allow your hands to move a little, explore, find a place that you say, "Ooh, I should stay. I should linger here." And take your fingers between your thumb and first finger and see if your shoulders can relax and just gently massage, palpate that area, of sinking into the soft tissue. This being a point for the metal element, the lung meridian and the large intestine meridian traveling up and down the arms. And so this is a great place to help to relieve pressure from the lungs, from the chest, and to help process disappointment and grief, which are emotions associated with the metal elements. Metal, autumn, letting go. Sometimes things didn't work out the way we've wanted them to in this time of growth in the spring and summer. And these plans we have don't necessarily come to fruition. So letting that go and come to the other hand, and maybe you notice this hand could be a little tighter. Of course, your dominant hand is going to have maybe a little more tension in it. And just noticing, palpating, and you feel tenderness, just, being gentle, of moving around that tenderness, encouraging the tissue around it to release. Breathing, having your experience. Next, we're going to come to a place here, coming to kind of the outer edge of your collarbone, scooching down and in from the armpit. So somewhere down here, kind of from the armpit in, the outside edge of the collarbone down, and palpate around here. This is where the lung meridian originates superficially, so on towards the exterior of the body. And so just sort of poking around, finding a place. You can walk your fingers around. You can sort of move them however you do. And emotions are important, and even our feelings of disappointment or grief or loss are very important to feel. But when they linger too long in the lungs, they can cause issues so that different lung ailments can kind of originate from long held grief or disappointment. So we're transforming that grief and disappointment into courage, understanding, to letting go. Now find a place to hold, and we'll move the arm. So circling your arm one direction as you hold that place. some structural integration here. Moving your arm while you hold sort of a trigger point, if you will, one direction. And then we'll go the other direction. You can always have your fingertips on the shoulder if you don't have space to move your entire arm. And breathing, you can bend your elbow, you can relax your fingers, kind of explore that movement. Sighing is a sound associated with metal. Come to the other side. So release that, shake your arm out a little. And now to the other side, palpate in that place coming in from the armpit down from your collarbone, sort of feeling around. Let your shoulder relax. You can move your fingers around, you can walk them about, a walkabout. And maybe you find a place to linger. And we'll make those circles. Again, you don't have to have a straight arm. You could even have your fingertips on your shoulder. Moving your arm, getting that movement. Relaxing into your breath and direction. And then the other direction. And release your arm, give it a shake. And we'll stretch out the legs. If you're sitting up on something, you can kind of move it just to stretch the legs out for a moment. That can feel really nice. And bounce the knees, windshield wipe your feet from side to side. Let's pat the legs since we're here. Patting. Let's go patting down the outside and up the inside. So patting down the yang side and up the yin side. Encouraging the flow of energy, which is why we do all this. And coming back to center, we're going to come into a tabletop. I always like something under my knees and tabletop. And as you arrive, let your shoulders be over top of your wrists. Maybe find a few cats and cows here, just to wring out the spine a little after that seated practice. Come to center, bring your toes to curl under. Bring your right hand over to the top left corner of your mat and sink down with the hips. Maybe you bring your left hand sort of under your shoulder. You can press through that hand and find even a little bit of a twist in this location. See if you can relax your head and neck. And breathe into that side of the body, into the arm, from the fingertips all the way up to the shoulder, through the ribs. Come to center to the other side. And it's kind of nice to have the feet curled under because then you get a little stretch on the bottoms of your feet. Bring your hand underneath of your shoulder. Maybe finding a little pushing, a little opening, a different kind of stretch on the shoulder. That could feel really nice. And back to center. We'll thread the needle. Now the tops of the feet could come back down if that feels good to you. Reach your right arm out to the side, fingertips extend straight from your chest, and then open up at the chest. Reaching up a little, feel that twist And draw your arm underneath. Let the shoulder relax down. Maybe your head comes to the mat or to a block, and let your right fingertips relax. Now, as your shoulder and arm relax, you might even extend your left arm up. You could bend the elbow and bring the hand to your low back, feeling if that helps you to sort of open up your chest a little bit more. You might even find a bind, bringing your fingertips to the top of the thigh, where that meets the hip flexor. And breathing here. Again, utilizing your experience and being with how you feel. Release the bind, reach your arm up, and then bring that hand back down, pressing through the hand. Lift yourself up, find that open twist again. Ooh, maybe you open a little more than you did the first time. Hand returns to the ground. Other arm comes out, fingertips straight from the shoulder. Open up through the chest and thread the needle. Left arm goes underneath, the shoulder relaxes, your head relaxes down. And you can be right here. This could feel really good, just seeing if you can release and relax your hands. But if you'd like, you can extend your right arm up, maybe bend the elbow, bring the hand to your low back, and find that opening of the chest. You could even kind of sink your fingertips into that hip flexor area, top of your leg. Wherever you are, you're breathing. Release the bind, extend your arm back up, bring the hand down, press through your hand, lift yourself up and open up your chest. Bring your hand back down. Come into downward facing dog. You could always find a puppy pose if that's more appropriate. But if you can, curl the toes under and lift the hips up and back, press through your palms. Bend into each knee. It feels so nice to bend to the knees. Find your breath. Take a big inhale and let it go. You're going to come to a forward fold somewhere on your mat. Doesn't matter where. You can walk your feet to hands, hands to feet. You have a blanket, you can release that and just let your upper body relax forward over your legs. Your head and neck relax. We hold so much tension in our necks and our shoulders, and just see if you can bring awareness to that tension where you might hold it, and if it can really release and relax. We're gonna bend through the knees and push through the feet, rising up just a little bit so your arms dangle. You want your arms to dangle, and we're gonna move them like little egg beaters, just allowing. I guess they're giant egg beaters, actually, not quite little egg beaters, but just letting them sort of circle, make circles, relax at the shoulders. So you're really releasing your shoulders, egg beater arms one direction. And then the other direction, sort of come in towards each other. You can feel the fingers, the hands gently hit each other, maybe little collisions with your egg beaters. And release that. Chin stays towards the chest as you roll the rest of the way up towards standing. Press through your feet, shoulders up to the ears, and we roll back. Head floats up. Woo, and rock from the ball of your foot to your heel. You can move your arms a little, your wrists, bringing out your wrists. And then orient yourself towards the middle of the mat or wherever you can see best. Finding a Qigong stance, let your feet be about shoulder width distance, and we're going to tamp the post. So if it's comfortable for you to come up onto the ball of each foot and really tamp down with your heels, you can do that, or you can just bounce along, which is a little more gentle. You want to have a bend in the knee and a bend in the quad, so the hip flexor, which is encouraging kind of that bounce, a little bit more shock absorption than if your legs were completely straight. Our knees are shock absorbers. And then now we're looking for this connection with the earth, feel nice and safe. Finally, let your feet sink into the ground and feel the crown of your head extend upwards towards the heavens. The shoulders come up to your ears and roll back, and let your hands rest at your sides, your arms sort of rest. They're a little bit away from your body, like you have an egg underneath of each armpit. So you're creating a little space. And take a big inhale and let it go. We'll bring down the heavens, palms face up, reaching up and sinking down. Moving with your breath, perhaps. And we've already done quite a bit of work by this time. We've done a lot of stretching, a lot of movement, a lot of stimulation of points on the along the meridian, so metal element points. And you might notice sensations through the arms or wherever you do in your body, whatever sensations you notice, you can classify them however you want, pleasant, unpleasant, warm, cool, tingly. Just being aware of how you feel. In our five element theory and in traditional Chinese medicine, the idea is that the Dantian, so our center of gravity, center of energy under the belly button, is sort of where we store our ancestral qi, the qi that we were born with, that came from our parents, that we have to utilize, that we get to utilize for the duration of our life here. And we fortify that through the air that we breathe, the heavenly chi, and the food that we eat, the earthly chi. We fortify our ancestral chi. And part of the job of the lungs is to draw that chi down towards the dantian, where it can be easily processed. One more time, reaching up and drawing down. We're going to cloud walk. Let one hand come up and maybe the knee lifts, bringing that foot down, switching from side to side. And you can lift just the heel. You could lift your whole knee. This is very much an exercise in balance. But also, when we think of the metal element, the color associated with the metal element is a bright white, sort of like sun shining on freshly fallen snow. Or I always think of being at the very top of a mountain and looking out over a sea of clouds, or maybe even in an airplane, looking out over that sea of clouds. And maybe you see the sun shining upon the clouds, and you really can't be bothered with anything that's lower, that anything that's closer to the valleys, or if you're on top of the mountain or you're flying in an airplane, you're far above all of the cities, all of the life and the situations going on below you. And kind of reach that place when we allow ourselves to just experience life without too much thinking. It's important to feel grounded, but it's equally as important to kind of release overthinking. We can be both grounded and sensitive to how we feel. So sort of cloud walking, still finding that sense of stability and support, but you're lifting up, you're not worried about what's going on outside of your experience right now. Come back to center, reroot your feet. We're going to open to the horizons. Bring out your wrists a little. It's nice to flick your hands also. I'll bring the arms up in front of your chest. Turn your palms to face each other and open to the horizon. Arms come back and lower down. Now we're finding a bow stance. We're going to go to all three horizons. So step one foot out, bend into the knee, lift your arms, and then open to that horizon. Back to center. Step back to horse stance or Qigong posture. Lift the arms, open forward. Coming back, lower down, shift your weight, step your foot out into a bow stance as you lift your arms and open to the horizon. Coming back to center, finding that engagement and support through the legs from the bottoms of your feet all the way up the dantian, stepping, making your way from side to side, finding that place in the middle as well. Being very aware of your movements. There's really no room to think about anything else. Focus on your movement, focus on your breath, expanding, coming back to center. Continue. The next time you come to center, expand the horizons once more. Return back down and bring your hands to the dantian. Let your shoulders stack over your hips. Breathing into the dantian. Allow your belly to expand upon your inhale. And draw towards the spine as the pelvic floor gently lifts on your exhalation. Nice slow breathing. And if those engagement of especially the muscles of the pelvic floor and the low abdomen, if that causes any anxiety or you don't feel like you're able to do it, just envision this drawing inward and then allow for that opening, relaxing those muscles as you expand, sinking the chi to the dantian. We've been doing so much moving around, and that idea again is to draw any stagnant chi and down towards the dantian where it can be processed. Any weight that's on your heart and lungs, any of that weight that's in the solar plexus area, that kind of stress jug sinking down. Allow that tension to be processed. And then relax the breath and release your hands. We'll find some arm swings. Let the arms swing forward and back. You can bend into your knees. You could lean as far forward as you would like as your arms swing. You can feel very liberating as long as you don't whack anything with your hands. Then the liberation sensation just disappears. Coming back to center, shake things out and find some twists. Arm swing twists, letting your arms hit the body gently, however they do. Twisting from the feet, rooting into the earth, the twist coming from the place of the feet up the legs to the dantian. And it makes its way up your spine, finding circulation, openness. And come back to center. I tap under the collarbone. So tapping all across the chest. We did that deeper massage kind of by the armpit area under the collarbones, but now you're just tapping all over the chest, releasing any excess pressure here. Shake out your feet. And we're going to find an energy loofah. So you can take now, let one hand relax, let the other hand kind of envision you're holding a loofah or a sponge and you're just floating it over your shoulder. So you're floating your hand over the shoulder, of using your energy loofah. Or yesterday, I started to think about remembering that little magnetic toy that I think everyone in this part of the country has to be familiar with, the Woolly Willy, who is the little face and you have the magnet and you move your little shards of metal to give him a mustache or a beard or very hairy eyebrows. So you're using this either energy loofah or sort of your magnet of your hand to help to release tension. It's like you're drawing stagnant chi, like it's little shards of metal, and we're going to be kind of moving it around. And take your loofah down the outside of your arm. You can bend your arm and bring it in towards your body rather than leaning over, because you want to keep a nice tall spine. Coming down to your hand, turn your hand and then come up the inside of your arm, back up towards your shoulder, where you'll make those circles again. And then going down the outside of your arm with your energy loofah, drawing you can also envision that you're shining sort of a white light into the arm. And as you do, coming up back towards the shoulder, you're drawing out any stagnation. And we're gonna do it one more time on this side. Bring down your arm with your energy loofah. Maybe you just stay in a place. Maybe you just scrub a little more. You don't even have to worry about why that is. Just let it happen. Coming back up. Now we're gathering all of this stagnation. Draw it through to the chest and gather whatever's in the lungs, kind of using your energy loofah. You can relax that arm down in the lungs. And it's gathering it. And now we're going to draw it down towards the dantian where it's easily processed, and move your energy loofah there at the dantian area. Just releasing any weight from that arm, your shoulder. And now relax the arm and shake out your arm you just utilized or that you just drew all that out of. And come to the other side. Bring your energy loofah to your shoulder. And gathering. You're both gathering stagnation like magnet metal, and you're shining this white light into the shoulder. It doesn't matter which direction you go. As you're ready, you can come down your arm, both drawing up like a vacuum, drawing out any stagnation, simultaneously pushing in that light. I mean, it's inner alchemy, just like your breath, just like all of these amazing processes of your body. Use your energy loofah. And go back down your arm. Make sure you're breathing. Energy loofah, maybe one more time. Going down your arm. Back up. And you can relax the arm and make your way to the chest, loofahing as you go, scrubbing, drawing in any stagnation, drawing it away from the lungs, from the heart, kind of bringing it into sort of a ball of whatever needs to be processed that just hasn't been yet, slurping it out of your lungs, your heart, and then shining that bright light, white light in there, and draw all of it down towards the dantian. So easily processed here. It's like a cauldron that just cooks and transforms that stagnation. Let both hands rest on the dantian. Take a big inhale and let it go. Hovering down the heavens 3 times, reaching up as you inhale and exhaling down. Shake things out. Bring out your wrists and your ankles. And if it's in you to squat, have a nice squat, sinking the hips. And if squatting is not on the docket for today, just bring your hips to the ground. You can even keep your knees further away from each other when you get there and kind of find that tall spine. Sit up nice and tall. And then find a seat. And if you have a bolster, you can grab your bolster and place it to where your head and where your back, your spine would be resting. You can also use a couple of folded blankets instead. In fact, if it's too high or a pillow will work, we're just trying to open the chest a little bit to find this nice chest opener to kind of finish things out. Doing such wonderful work. We always do. It's good stuff. So bringing your bum to the bolster and then allowing yourself to lie back. And again, it could be a couple folded blankets, and you have to adjust. You might feel like you need your hips further away or closer to that support. And just allowing your spine to relax and rest over that support. You might need a little more support for your head. I like to have a blanket under the back of my head also. You want your shoulders to relax off of the support. You can bring your knees together and let your feet be out to the sides of your mat as more of a supported relaxation. Or maybe you extend your legs long if that feels better to you. So wherever you go, there you are, and just finding a place where you can breathe and let your eyes soften and just allow for this passive opening, letting gravity be your friend, your arms at your sides. Breathing that white light in, feeling it draw in through the nose, kind of making its way into your head, into the pineal gland, that crystal palace area of the pineal glands, broadening your palate, kind of creating space and light inside of your face and your sinuses and your head and your nose, drawing down into your lungs, your heart, shining this white healing light into your lungs, into your heart, to your shoulders, down your arms, to your fingertips, and you've cleared these channels and it penetrates with ease, shining light into each tissue, each cell. And that light making its way down into your abdomen to encourage that processing in the Dantian area. Shines through your pelvis and to your hips and legs, all the way down to your toes. With each inhale, you draw in more of this white light, this healing light, healing energy. With each exhale, you release, you allow a little more release of deeply held tension in the body. That light acting as a solvent, helping to remove some of that sticky stuff. Let's go. You might sigh. We're going to roll off of the support and come onto the back body. Doing so gently without sitting up if you can. Just roll to your side and then press the support from behind you, move off to the side. If you have a bolster, you might even scooch it to under your knees. Your back returns to the ground and draw your knees into your chest. Draw your nose in towards your knees. Roll up like a little ball and rock on your back. Return your shoulders, neck, and head to the ground, maybe with some support underneath of the back of your head, and extend your legs long. Find some relaxation. Let your arms release maybe to your sides, or maybe want to rest on your abdomen. And it's important to cover up in these types of postures, especially if as we make our way into the cooler weather, keeping yourself as cozy and cocooned as possible. The end of your practice is this time to absorb, to have really enjoy, to graciously accept the benefits of your practice. Letting your body relax and soften, letting your breath be natural, unconditioned. just being. You are welcome to stay in this place as long as you'd like. And if it's time to transition, begin to make small movements with your fingers and toes, your wrists and ankles. Maybe have a full body stretch with a yawn. Bending your knee, roll to your side. And slowly press your way up to a seat, taking your time. And rock a little from side to side, from front to back. Let your tail sink into the earth as the crown of your head extends upwards. Palms come to heart center. Offer yourself kindness and compassion, peace and love, and allow those components to penetrate each cell, to be part of each interaction. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice today. It's just an honor to get to spend time with you. And I hope you have a beautiful